I can't really hear, but I think it's my headphones, not
Okay.
the system.
Wait a minute. I
Because
can't
I have the
hear.
mangy, crummy headphones on.
All right. You're plugged
What are you doing? I'm plugged in.
You're plugged in.
Yeah, it's all fine. It's you. It's all you.
How about that? Is
Yeah,
that better?
that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, Kristina was trying to tell me all the merits of not having a big head.
Yeah.
I said I wished I had a larger head. And she doesn't think that that's something to
Well,
wish for.
I mean, I understand that your kids are cute with big heads, but I don't think you would be.
Well, I would like it to be a little larger than it is.
It's like those cats with big eyes, you know, like the kitten posters.
I think that's photoshopped, probably. Wait a minute. Aren't you born with the size of eyes you're going to have forever? So, like, you look like you got bigger eyes when you're a kitten or a baby thing. You know. Is that true? Or did I just make that up?
You did make it up.
I kind of think it's true, though. Pretty
Well,
sure.
it's kind of true. Everything's kind of true.
I mean, do your eyes grow or not?
That doesn't mean it's true. What to do?
Your hair is so cute and curly today.
Yeah, I just can't fight it with this humidity.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't fight it.
I love it, though.
This is
But I always love your hair curly, and you always love your hair straight.
Yeah, this is peak humidity season. So I just have to
My
get
hair
into
is still
it.
straight at peak humidity season. Straight, but frizzed a little. Like fuzzy.
And blonde.
Well, it's always blonde, but it does something.
You're part of the blonde class. It's a whole class,
I
you know.
guess. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm the only one in my family that has stayed blonde, and I'm a little bummed by that because I don't feel like a blonde.
It's okay. You're helping represent your species in a good light.
I don't know about that.
So, you know.
Oh.
Well, the funny...
No, go.
I just... the funniest thing was last Friday. No, it was Friday. It was Saturday. What day was it?
What?
It
I
was
don't know what you're talking
Saturday.
about yet, so I can't tell you what day it was.
think back to last Saturday, okay?
Last Saturday, we had a
Okay.
big wedding at our house.
Yeah, and it was dinner time at my house, and I got, my phone went bing.
Yeah.
And I had some last-minute Airbnb guests that wanted to come, and so I said yes.
Oh, now I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. So I said, you know, even though it meant that I had to clean a little bit, sort of unexpectedly, but I decided I could use the money, so I said yes. And so they showed up at about 9:30 that night, and they said hi. They introduced themselves. They said, "Hi, I'm Ryan," and then, "Hi, I'm Kim." So, okay, that sounds normal enough, but they went upstairs and they got settled into their room and all that. And I opened up Facebook and I saw your picture of the wedding that had just been at your house. And there was a picture of the bride and groom, and their names were Ryan and Kim. And I was completely confused. These people look like backpackers, you know. I'm like, no, these can't.
They backpacked from their wedding to your house.
Yeah, I just was very, very confused. And so I immediately tried to send you a message, but you were busy. You were running a wedding at the time, you know, so you couldn't respond to me. So I had to stay confused like until the next morning.
Well, the funny thing is, my Ryan and Kim at my house, which actually people were a separate Ryan and Kim from the Ryan and Kim at Kristina's house. The ones at my house also were staying in a local Airbnb.
No.
And I said to them, without even knowing that you had a Ryan and Kim at your house, I said, when they said, oh, it's this crazy tall hippie house in the middle of nowhere, and thinking of the Airbnbs in the area, I said, oh my God, that must be my friend Kristina's house. I can't believe you guys booked to stay there. So it was all confusing from my end too. And it turns out it wasn't your house.
Whose house?
It was George Lawrence's old house.
Oh my gosh.
That they ended up staying at.
Yes.
So, but the way that they described it, I thought they were describing your house.
Sure.
And they weren't sure at first which road it was on. And they were like, I don't think it's in this town. So I put two and two together, and I'm pretty good at all the Airbnbs in the area because we always have to recommend them to people, and I usually send people your way. So I was like, it's got to be at Kristina's. And yet it wasn't. And yet, anyway, you still had a Ryan and Kim there.
Yeah.
It's very weird. The mysteries of this world.
Yeah, so I'm glad that I didn't send them that message that the night before that was going to congratulate them upon their wedding and apologize for having been so clueless.
Awkward.
Yeah, it would have been. So
were they married?
I don't know. But I told them the story in the morning, and they were
Did they have very fancy shellacked hairstyles?
No. They said they look like backpackers, so I don't think they had shellacked. What do you mean shellacked hairstyle?
Oh, you know, like fancy hair all done up that has been sprayed so it can't budge for the whole night.
Yeah, no.
That kind of hair.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
So that was a very, very cool coincidence. I think last week was a week of coincidences leading up to the eclipse, which is today.
Oh, God. We don't get to see it here, though. You only get to see it in other countries, I heard.
Oh, yeah, but you can feel it.
Yeah.
Right.
Poison ivy coated arm can feel it.
Yeah. You're letting go of something. Eclipses are about releasing something.
Huh.
So, yeah, it just depends astrologically, like which house it's happening in.
My toxins.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm going to let go of some belief systems that I have that haven't been serving me.
Like your astrological beliefs?
No.
Oh, not those ones.
No, not those. Those are sort of shallow. Those are on the surface. That's just part of the kind of soup of my
got Chinese food
life.
This week, and you know how in Chinese food restaurants they have the placemats that tell you what your Chinese zodiac symbol is or animal?
Yes.
And mine is a snake, which I do not. When you read the little description for the snake, first of all, I hate snakes. I hate snakes. Like, of all the animals in the world, I just can't even look at pictures of them.
That's just not fair.
So that's not fair.
Well, I got a rooster, so I didn't think that was too fair either.
And then, when I compare it says who you are compatible with and who are your enemies. And all my enemies, it says, are like the people who are closest to me, basically. And all of the people I'm compatible with, like, I don't even know anybody that are those signs. So it's stupid. Stupid.
Okay. But what about me? Like, do you think I'm like a rooster at all?
No.
Tell me the truth.
No, I don't. So.
Cocky-locky?
And.
What?
Their fortune cookies were stale.
Oh, that happens.
Immediately wiped out all of my.
Well, I don't care if they're stale.
Respect for their zodiac.
I don't care if they're stale as long as the fortune is good. How is the fortune?
My grandmother, who's 90 years old, hers said, "A new romance will be coming your way shortly."
That's beautiful.
And she laughed and laughed.
See, it's never too late.
Well, we kind of all chuckled too because she just moved into a new apartment. It's a independent living place that's right across the driveway from my grandpa's nursing home. Like it's the Morgan Orchard one in Randolph. And they built the new apartment building right across from the. So you've got like steps. You go from the independent living into the assisted living, which hasn't been built yet, and then into the nursing home, and then you die. So anyway, she's at the first step, but my grandfather's in the nursing home one. So we were laughing because they haven't been housed anywhere near each other for the last 6 years. So we were laughing at her romance bit. Like, she's going to wheel him over.
That's awesome.
In the middle of the night.
That's awesome. I think they should connect. You know how you said there were the different stages? I think
like
they
a
should
little tunnel. They have a tunnel underneath.
Then they should connect to the nursery because when you die, then you get born and you go back into the nursery. So it's like this big circle and you could just come back to the same place.
Nice.
No.
That nursing home is much better than the last one my grandpa was in because, so the last one he was in before we moved him here, he's paralyzed pretty much because he had a stroke. And the last nursing home at night, some other lady who had dementia would always be walking the halls at night, and she would come to his room and she would climb in bed with him and he would be screaming for the nurses to help him and pushing his little call button and no one would come. And this old lady would just be in bed with him all the time, and he was like totally freaked out.
I would be freaked out too.
Because he's 100% there in his mind, but he can't move. So it's like,
wow,
you're a zillion years old and you're being molested by somebody.
That's a problem that I bet he thought he'd never have.
No kidding.
Like, could you if you had told him when he was a teenager that was going to be an issue later in life, he probably would just laughed at you.
I know.
Like he probably would have said,
we all thought it was kind of funny, but it must have been a little bit horrifying too.
Yeah,
if you can't move and someone is like touching you and getting in bed with you in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I used to have nightmares about
stuff
that.
Nightmares are made of. Yeah,
totally.
Poor Grampy. Anyway.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, I don't know why.
No, it's fine. I think it's too bad that you don't live in a mansion. You know why? Because you could make some money.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Did Jim tag you in that?
I didn't know. It was Jennifer Jennifer Rutherford, who works, does filmmaking. She's,
Yeah,
I
they're
guess
looking
we're all
for
friends with her.
Yeah, well, they're looking for a site to film.
Well, they're not
looking
just
for
looking,
a location.
They're not.
A big house, right? I do have a big house, but it said it had to be a impeccable mansion, I think was the words. And I was like, almost got the mansion. No, got nothing close to the impeccable part.
Yeah, the exact.
Or pristine. It said pristine mansion. Sorry.
I have it right here in my notes, pristine mansion. I was waiting
well.
for you to get to it because it's such a great phrase. Pristine mansion, yeah.
Most mansions probably are pristine.
Well, so for $1,500, you could get $1,500 for allowing them to use your pristine mansion for 2 days to shoot their commercial.
Could I make my mansion pristine? Jim, my brother-in-law tagged me because he was thinking of the Victorian home that I'm a curator at the museum, which is pristine, except for possible poisonous spiders that may have bitten me yesterday.
But it said sort of Vermont meets the Hamptons.
I know, and that isn't. It's a bright pink gingerbread Gothic mansion, so it's not really sort of Vermont or the Hamptons, really. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to tell those people.
Out of luck.
Good luck with your pristine business, though. Like.
Yeah, that's not going
to happen in the state.
Not usually.
Do you know anybody who you can consider, like, that their home is pristine?
Well, let me think about it. Let's see. Pristine. Actually...
I do, I guess, a couple. But
my ex is...
Really?
Ex number one.
But does he have a housekeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
And he has, the mansion that he built for his mother that she never moved into.
Also pristine?
Yeah.
Well, don't tag him in it. He doesn't need $1,500.
He doesn't need the money. I know, but I could get a finder's fee.
Actually, you know whose house is the most... My friend Shannon Johnson, I think, has the most pristine house I've ever been in. It's so beautifully clean. And she has 2 kids. I don't understand. Even her own sister is confused on how she can keep her house so clean. My sister Jen has a pretty clean house, but it's not pristine. She's got kids. There's always toys around. I mean, she's clean, but it's not like super picked up all the time.
Oh,
pristine.
God, it just makes me tired just thinking about all of it.
My phone is ringing. This never happens.
Oh, the power.
It's my sister. It's the sister of the pristine mansion.
I can't hear myself. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, I know.
What?
It says change battery.
Ruh-roh. What happened?
That's crazy.
Oh, I hear a weird clicking in our headphones now.
Huh.
Oh, my sister just asked me questions. I'll have to
I'm going to have to
quickly.
go to plan B here because I'm having technological failure with my headphones.
What's plan B? We have a plan B?
I don't know. This is weird.
Kristina's unplugging something and plugging something else in.
What the heck?
How can it say change batteries when it's plugged in?
I don't know. That's really a bummer. That means I can't record this.
Can we get it off of the website?
Yeah.
All right.
To hear myself is an issue, so...
Hold on, people. Hold on. Kristina is working her magic over there.
Huh. Okay, I'm going to plug in over here.
She's going to plug it in somewhere else now.
All right, here we go.
Unplugging, replugging.
Okay.
And?
Now I can at least hear...
Oh, I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay, I'm back. Huh.
Well, that was...
Just, don't you love a technology failure?
Totally love it.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of a relief when it's not something you and I did stupidly for once, though.
Well...
No, it's a true technical glitch. It's not us, really.
Okay, I guess I'll take that.
That's comforting to me.
Yeah, I'm going to just turn myself up a little bit here.
Last Friday, after you and I were on the radio, my clogging group had to dance at Old Home Days here in town.
Yeah.
And we danced in the gazebo there, right in the middle of the green. And I plugged my stereo system into the outlets there. And unbeknownst to me, all the things on the town green, all the activities were plugged in to the same kind of, outlet that I was. So we start dancing, and all of a sudden all the electricity shuts off, And I see across the green that the bouncy houses, which are jumping up and down with kids in them, suddenly deflate and children are being smothered inside of them.
Oh, no.
And parents are like running and pulling their kids out by the legs and stuff because it's like heavy duty plastic.
Oh,
and it's,
yeah.
It's like shrink wrapping the kids.
Sure.
So people freak out and the breaker has been tripped and we're all, I guess, our clogging thing is on the same breaker as those bouncy houses. So they redo the breaker. The bouncy houses reinflate. We start dancing again. And a couple minutes later, it does it again. And it keeps doing this. And we smell hot, smoking, bad smells. So eventually we plugged into a different outlet. But I felt a little guilty. Although I heard later it was the bouncy houses that were tripping it, not our little stereo. But I still felt guilty because it was somehow it was overloaded by both of us.
I see.
And our performance was not as smooth as it might have been because there was a lot of panic and possible smothering happening at the same time.
Sometimes it's hard to recover from technological problems when you're on stage.
Yes, it is.
You're supposed to just pick up and go on, but it can be kind of hard.
On the spot.
It just puts you into a different headspace. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not getting very good level on this. I'm going to switch my headphones again.
Okay.
One more time.
She's unplugging. She's replugging.
Now I just have one ear. That's interesting.
Sometimes I just have one ear.
Yeah, we're just troubleshooting all the equipment here, I guess. That's not better.
Oh my goodness.
What the heck? So, I have a new acquisition.
I hope it's not all those National Geographic magazines you have stuffed in the back of your car right now, and a boombox I saw.
Yeah, I'm taking
like a super ratty looking early 90s boombox you have in the back of your car.
Yeah, I realized I wasn't using it anymore.
Huh.
I did a bunch of cleaning yesterday, and that's going, and all those National Geographics. I thought, well, should I ask the kids if they want me to keep the National Geographics? My kids are in their 20s and 30s. It's like, no, I'm just going to take them.
I wish John would take a cue from you.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad to let go of them.
You're just one step closer to your pristine mansion.
Well, I'm trying. It's so ironic that came up because I cleaned all day yesterday. But let me tell you about the acquisition because it's way more interesting. So I went to my gardening job on Tuesday and got rained out.
Yes.
So I thought, well, I'm halfway to White River Junction. Maybe I'll just keep going and I'll go down to Twin City Typewriter.
Oh, God, what?
Wouldn't you?
I thought you were cleaning your house up.
If you had half a day, wouldn't you go down to Twin City Typewriter? It's just about to close. They're going to close forever. This would be maybe your last week.
I guess it wouldn't be the first thing that I would think of, but let's hear what kind of treasure you.
I got. Let's see. I wrote the model number down.
Oh boy!
Let's see. It's quite a good one. I want to give you the model number because it's.
It will mean a lot to me.
It would mean a lot to you. So I can't find it right now. But, here we go. It's a DX3500. It's a 1991 Smith Corona. And it has a 75,000 word dictionary in it. But
what?
Yeah.
How?
This is a special typewriter.
It's like a little... Sorry. I didn't sleep.
It's just...
a computer typewriter.
It's amazing.
Is it the kind where you can delete things for a minute? My grandmother had one, like, it didn't, like, permanently put the letters on until, like, a line had gone by, so you could, like, go back and change it. I can't remember how exactly that could possibly work, but...
That must be, like...
Maybe there was a little screen, so you typed it, and then it was, like, a...
That must be, like, the DX3700.
I really don't know.
It's the DX3500.
These things are beyond my comprehension.
Well, I'm just so excited because now I can type up my index cards.
Wow.
And that's because I'm going to write my poetry book on index cards. That's how I'm going to organize it. I tried that fancy software to organize books with. Yeah. I mean, I've learned it. It's pretty complicated software, and I'm discarding it. I'm going back to index cards.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's just a cautionary tale. I need to find all my
files because I should get out my writing again and just... It's been too busy. It's too busy.
I'm trying to inspire you to do that.
Thank you. Here comes the train.
Okay, here comes the train. Don't miss it. Wow, was fast.
It's a loud one today.
I think it was going fast. It was going faster today because they're in a hurry. Like, don't you sometimes feel like you got to go faster?
Yeah, I went pretty fast to get here.
Yeah, I know you did.
And I was going so fast that I pulled out a little bit past the stop sign off my road, and then a car was coming, and I had to back up to get out of the road. I was kind of like just getting pre-ready to like go.
Getting like ready to get ready?
Yeah, but
sure.
Then I realized they couldn't get by me in the road, so I had to back up again.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, my elbow pit is stinging. Or whatever you call it. What do you call the inside of your elbow?
The inside of your elbow.
It feels like every other little nook and cranny in your body has a name.
That upsets me that I can't think of what that is.
That's because there isn't a name for it.
You know, I'm staring at it.
You could say forearm, but that's not really that spot.
It's not elbow pit.
I know. That's just the closest thing I could think
be.
of. Crease of your
bend,
elbow.
Where the bend.
Forearm. Divot.
L bend. Bow bend.
Seriously, there's got to be a word for it. There's a word for every single other part of your body, including the little sag of wattle skin on your elbow.
Waddle?
No, it's called a weenus, which I think is hysterical.
Waddle? Weenus?
It is.
A sheenus.
No, it's a weenus.
No, I taught my kids to say sheenus.
It's not, though.
For that part.
It's actually a weenus.
No, it's a sheenus.
Actually, Theo, who started this show, like one time before we took it from him, told me that that's what it was called. Actually, I think he told my kids that.
Why would you trust him and not me?
Because I looked it up afterward because I thought he was just BSing me. And
He
it's
is.
true. No, it's not.
Anything named after hot dogs is not real.
I gotta look it up now. What? That's not named after a hot dog.
Yes, it is.
That's a wiener.
I know.
A wiener schnitzel or something.
So it's the female version.
Isn't wiener schnitzel pastry?
It's like wiener or weenus.
Wiener schnitzel.
The Dutch or the... Wait. Okay, what's the opposite of a duchess?
A duke.
Okay, so duke or duchess, wiener or weenus. But I'm telling you, it's sheenus.
Do you think it's IS or US?
Oh, it's neither.
Oh, wow. Lots of things come up when I do this. But it does say weenus elbow. Let's see.
What? This is related
weenus
to your elbow?
Is a term describing the flap of loose skin on the back of one's elbow.
What?
Oh, what's this one? What's a flagina? I gotta see that.
Okay, I think it's time for a song.
Flagina is the webbing between your fingers.
No.
Yes, it is.
What are you reading? What kind of alternative universe do you live in? I don't know. My phone wouldn't find that at all.
That was on the Toronto Star. Then here's Urban Dictionary. I'm just scrolling by dictionary.com. Merriam-Webster.
No, I feel like we live in
Weenus,
different...
noun, the skin that covers your elbow.
No,
Example,
come on.
my weenus is sunburned.
How do you spell it?
Weenis.
Oh, W-E-E, that makes all the difference.
Sorry. Yeah. What were you?
W-E-I.
Oh,
that relates it to hot dogs, but if it's W-E-E...
Weenus, definition.com, the wrinkly skin on the peak of your elbow.
I don't think that's a good name for that. I wouldn't call it that.
Well...
I mean, I would never say that in polite company, would you? Would you say, excuse me, I have to scratch my weenus?
No, but...
You would not.
But you could, and it would be all right.
No, it's a useless word. It would not be all right.
What was the other one I just said?
Emily, it would not be all right.
The vagina. No, what was it?
Sheenus.
No, what was the other one I said about the webbing?
Flagella.
Flagina. Was it flagina? God, I can't remember. Where'd it go?
Why am I thinking of mitochondria?
Isn't it mitochondria?
No.
Flagina. Okay, that's the webbing.
That's just dumb. That's the Urban Dictionary, right?
No, it
that's
isn't.
Not the Toronto Star newspaper wouldn't say that.
Flagina.
You have to check your sources. This is fake news. Don't believe stuff just because it's on your phone.
I'm not believing it because it's on my phone. I looked it up on different device once.
You're being easily taken in.
I'm sorry.
These are false body parts.
You can't change it as much as you want me to.
This is false nomenclature for body parts.
Oh my God.
Okay.
This family came to my museum day before yesterday, and they came What? Oh yeah, never mind. I'll tell you the story after we get up.
Okay, save it because it's obviously special. It's a special.
I was just thinking, it was a song. It was a story about body parts. Okay.
Okay, great. This is a song from Both Air called Alston Brighton.
I had a friend named Barry Brown, stood 6 foot 4 inches off the ground, but the world wasn't ready for such a clown, and it swallowed him up and laid him down. And the first time I met him, I was on the road down in the Mission District in San Francisco. He said, tell me a joke and I will let you go. That was a long, long time ago. Before Alston Brighton, he died doing heroin in Alston Brighton. Well, my friend Niles played a black guitar, strung way down low, and he played it real loud. Just a 2-finger bar chord was all he'd allow, and he hawked that vintage Marshall and then moved out. One by one, we all moved away, until I got that message on that fretful day in Alston Brighton. He died doing heroin in Alston Brighton. My friend Kevin came from Los Angeles. He came out east, he was chasing his dreams, and he used to walk around on the tip of his toes. But the lure of the lady had him by the nose. It was on one of my 20-something birthdays when I awoke to the sound of hearts breaking in Alston Brighton. He died doing heroin in Alston Brighton. My friend Jimmy came from Baltimore. He had a whole lot of heart and so much more. He couldn't have been more than 44, with a hunger for comfort that life could not afford. And on a lazy afternoon I sing his song, and then I realize that it's all gone. In Alston Brighton, he died doing heroin in Alston Brighton. In Alston Brighton, he died doing heroin in Alston Brighton.
All right. Thank you, Bo.
I smell smoke. Do you smell smoke?
No.
It's coming through this window. It doesn't smell like bad, scary smoke, though. It smells like maybe barbecue. Hard to tell.
I'd like to have a fire outside today.
We did last night, but it was super. The wood was all wet, so it took us like a full hour to even get it going. And then 2 seconds
rained.
later, my youngest son was like, I don't feel good, because he'd already, while we were waiting for the fire to get going, he'd already like crammed about 16 marshmallows in his mouth. So by the time the fire was actually going, he wanted to go in the house because he didn't feel good and be read to. And so it was a waste. It was a waste of a fire, really.
Yeah.
And Eli and John and my dad maybe sat out around it for another 5 minutes. So we got an hour work of fire preparation, 5 minutes of fire, in bed.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
What were you going to talk about?
Oh.
Just before I so rudely interrupted you with music.
Oh, yeah. People always come to my museum like right around closing time. Even if it's been super slow all day long, nobody's come, then the bulk of tourists will come right as you're trying to close.
It's Murphy's Law.
Yeah, and they are incredibly pushy about they don't want you to close because they're here and they want their tour.
Yeah,
and,
they came all the way.
Yeah. So day before yesterday, I had 3 different groups show up right before closing.
No.
And the tours take an hour each and we go out on the hour. So I do the last tour usually at 4 p.m. because we got to be closed by 5. And if people come around 4:30, sometimes I'll still squeeze them in, go just real fast or like lock the house up as we go. So one elderly couple came at 4:35 and the lady had like a walker and she was like moving at a snail's pace. So I kind of internally groaned with impatience, but I took them through just the downstairs anyway while I locked up. And they were nice, and it was fine. And then, like 2 minutes before 5, another family showed up. I said, sorry, you can still enjoy the grounds, but the house tours are over. And they got incredibly huffy, got back in their house, and immediately drove away. And then 1 second later, a man with 4 children came.
No.
And as they came up the walkway, and I was like rolling up the open flag and putting it away, as they came up the walkway, all 4 of his kids, all of them, and they were probably under the age, like, maybe 8 to like 2, I guess, probably. Every one of his 4 kids were picking their noses and eating it as they came up the walkway. All 4 of them, like in unison. It was weird.
What are the
I've never
odds?
I think they just must be all very, very enthusiastic nose pickers to just all be doing it at once like that.
Is that the what do you call it? The high point of the story?
I guess the guy was just kind of. I tried to tell him that, we're not open anymore. And he said, we got lost on the way here. That's why we're not, earlier.
You should have.
And I'm like, again, not really my problem. But
you know what you could do? You should just have you should have a list of alternate things that they can do. Just hand them this list and say, I'm really sorry, but here's some other great things in the area. No, listen to how
crazy he is. First they were lost, which technically is not really my fault and doesn't matter to me. Secondly, he said that they'd driven all the way from Middlebury to come to see this. But they were all wearing those little Ben & Jerry's tour stickers, factory tours. So I'm like, all right, I think you people have already done something fun today. Don't guilt trip me like this is the only fun thing you're going to do today. And then he hands over his library free pass. You can check out a pass at all Vermont libraries that get you into state historic sites for free. And he was like, we checked this out specifically to see this. And it's like, it's still only good during the hours we're open. It doesn't mean you can just brandish it in the middle of the night and I'll give you a tour. Like, that's not what happens here.
Brandish. That's like a 5-point word right there.
And then when I finally said, I'm really sorry, some days I can stay much later, but today is not one of those days. I've got other commitments after work today. And I told them that we have a big ripe raspberry patch at the museum. They could go and pick those because the grounds are always open. And so they were kind of pacified with that. Mm-hmm. But then the guy goes to me. He's like, are there any local working sugar houses we can visit then? We'd really like to see the process.
Boy.
And I'm thinking to myself,
that's a little off.
Dude, it's July in Vermont. Like, where are you? Are you really from Middlebury or are you from Mars? Like, there's no working sugar houses right now.
Well,
what are they going to tap?
Send him out the woods with some guys with chainsaws.
I just don't understand what was wrong with him.
They're cutting.
But anyway.
That's crazy. You should have sent him down to the Reluctant Dragon event.
What is that? I saw the sign.
I don't know. I saw the sign at the Tunbridge Library, the Reluctant Dragon event. I figured you'd know what it was.
I don't. But
I think there is a children's book called The Reluctant Dragon.
I bet you it's their summer. They usually have a summer picnic with a theme. I bet you that's what it is.
I'm actually playing coy. That was one of my favorite books as a kid. But I didn't remember it until I saw the sign today. I'm like, wow. The Reluctant Dragon. And then I saw it in my head, in my mind's eye. I saw the picture of the dragon.
Wow.
And it took me way back, like to my first house before age 6.
Wow, you can remember before age 6?
A few things. I can remember ants crawling on peonies. remember that.
That could have been any time. Ants always crawl on peonies, Kristina.
But when you're like 4 or 5, you're right at the level of the ants. So it has kind of a different impact than when you're tall looking down on them.
Okay.
So, I just licked the microphone.
I do that all the time, and it really frightens me.
I just scared about what guys have been in here using this. Because this place was so dirty when we came in. It was disgusting.
Well, probably Courtney licked it right before you, so
okay, that's all right then. I don't mind.
She already licked
I don't
away
mind licking something Courtney's licked.
The bad stuff.
Yeah, so the eclipse, let's get back to it, man, because it's a big, big, big eclipse. I mean,
it's not for us, though. We don't get to see it. You only get to see it if you're like in China or Australia or something.
It's not about seeing it. It's about experiencing it.
Do you wear the goggles with eclipses? Yeah, because we did last summer, right?
Okay, this is a lunar eclipse.
Oh, so those are safe.
You can look at the moon go away. You can stare at the moon all you want and watch it go away. Okay. And come back, of course, comes back.
All right. What if there's clouds?
Do you have digital dementia?
Were we already talking about this? I don't know. Probably.
I just wondered. It somehow seemed related.
I bet I do.
But, yeah, so the eclipse, I feel like it's important to just touch base on that.
Okay.
So it has something to do, well, of course, everything has something to do with the ascension process now. Do you know what that is?
Do eclipses have something to do with bears? Because every single person on Facebook is talking about all the bears that they're seeing and are getting their garbage and getting in their sheds and getting their garages and scratching their cars.
No, let's get back to the ascension process, which I'm taking an informal poll today here at Royalton Community Radio. And since you're the only one here, do you know what the ascension is?
Going up, something that lifts. Ascension into the heavens. What?
Well, here, I took this off the internet.
Heaven.
Here, I like to quote the internet. You know how much I like to quote the internet? You just yelled at me for
quoting the internet.
Yeah, but it's fun to quote the internet. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Okay, so this is, quote, ascension is not about leaving the planet, getting rescued by off-world ETs, or flying up into heaven. It is a conscious choice to engage in evolution.
All right, why
are you stunned?
No, I just don't Okay, now connect that to whatever you just said.
Let it seep into
digital dimension. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that was sort of just a joke that didn't land well. Digital dementia is what happens when we look at our phone too much and rely on it too much.
I don't look at my phone very much. Although I do here because it's kind of like my list.
Yeah, I've got mine here.
And I had to because my sister was texting me.
Yeah. My sister's not texting me. I don't have a sister.
My sister almost never texts me, but that's why I had to look because in case it was important. Because no one texts me.
I got a text from my friend Stefan. He says, "Unfortunately, I am," is what he says.
He am what?
Working. Okay, so back to the ascension.
That makes no sense.
Wanted to tell you about random texts that I'm getting because it's pretty fascinating. I mean, if you should just stop people on the street and say, who's texting you right now and what are they saying?
They do those Facebook games where they're like, post the 11th picture on your phone or the 11th text that...
Yes, or open a book randomly to page 57.
Here's the last text from my sister.
What does it say?
It says, on our back deck, Lily threw up what looks like a dead baby bird. And then she gave me a chewed up picture of some cat vomit.
Oh, God. That's I'm glad I don't have a sister. Because I don't get stuff like that.
But right before the dead baby bird, she said, we have some spaghetti, but I would bring your own food because we don't have that much. And then she posts the dead baby bird.
Wow.
Gross. Okay.
I mean, sisters can do that.
Jen.
I couldn't... No. I wouldn't send something like that to my brother. But I would send him a photograph of a nice piece of gear. You know, he'd like that.
Yeah.
I think. But he'd probably be critical. He'd probably tell me, oh, that's a piece of crap. You know, he'd immediately assess it. Because men are from Mars.
I hate when people do that.
I know.
Anytime that anybody knows a celebrity, have you noticed? Or if they've met a celebrity, it's their way of pretending that they're too cool for school. They're like, oh yeah, Tom Hanks? Yeah, he was a real jerk.
Yeah, I like to do that.
They say that because it makes them seem like... A, they're in the same league as the person that they're dissing, and they're so like low key about it that they can say, "Oh,
but
he's totally."
I have developed that to a fine art, so that you do it, but you do it so you really seems like you're not doing it. Like the example you just gave was a lame example. Like that's obvious what they're trying to do, but when I do it with a lot of finesse.
I don't do it because actually, any
You-
famous person that I've ever met has been really, really nice. They're
Oh.
really nice.
No,
and
they're
maybe
not.
it's just an act. Probably it is an act.
No, it's because you're nice and you're like a nice person.
No. I think that maybe famous people are just the same as the rest of us. Some of them are nice and some of them are not nice.
You're just
and I've luckily just met some nice ones. And
No,
whatevs.
no, you're projecting.
have bad
You're
days.
projecting your niceness onto some jerk.
I don't think they're all
Don't
jerks.
do
Kristina.
that.
Why would they be all jerks? It's just a job. It's a job. They get up and they do their job just like the rest of us.
Yeah, but it contorts you.
And as long as they are like kind of like, isn't it funny how all these people think I'm awesome just for doing my damn job? Like as long as they kind of keep that attitude, I think a lot of them
No, I'll tell you why.
hold a pretty sane mindset.
No, you know the famous people that you've met through John, and John is a nice person who would only associate with nice famous people.
No,
That's
you know
what
who,
it is.
You know what though? He said Paul Rudd is a real jerk,
Who's
an
that?
actual jerk.
I don't know Paul
He's
Rudd.
an actor.
See, that doesn't fly with
They were
me.
at some film festival together.
Paul Rudd.
And Paul Rudd literally took like a handful of 16-year-olds down to the beach to have sex with them. And John was like,
can't-
wow, that's really crappy.
You can't have a name like Paul Rudd and be
not
famous.
Well, I'm sorry. It's famous. Oh, is he going to sue us
Like
now?
what kind of famous? Like
He's a movie actor. You don't watch mainstream movies, so you wouldn't know. But he's
this
just
is you're
he's
trying to stump
a comedy
me.
actor.
You're trying to
usually.
stump me on a pop culture
Here,
reference.
I'll just Google a picture and you'll know.
just
maybe.
don't.
I will.
I don't want to know what your phone says about Paul Rudd.
He's a weenus. That's what it says.
Yeah. That's
Hold
it.
on a second.
That's a good use
Oh,
of
whoops,
the word.
that's the wrong button.
That's a good use of that word, not the outer
It was
part
not
of
a
your
correct.
elbow.
It was not a correct use of that word.
Well, if somebody called me that, I'd probably be upset, actually. That could be an insult. I
Did
mean, a
you
very
know,
effective
when I was a little
insult.
kid, I didn't know what that word meant or anything. But I thought
What?
I was the only one who had that flap of skin there.
On your elbow?
Is that thunder? Did
You
hear
thought
that?
you were the only one that had
Yeah,
a flap
until
of
I was
skin
about
on your
like
elbow.
10 years old. I just never noticed it on other people.
Do I have one? Look. Do I have one?
Yours just kind of hangs pretty close. I don't know why that is. See, that's Paul Rudd. Recognize him?
No. No, he just looks like white bread guy. He looks like
Yeah, he
a
does.
Wall Street guy.
Well, it's because he's wearing a suit.
I don't.
Was that thunder, or was that just like a somebody?
No, it did sound like thunder.
Somebody like revving up a Harley up on the.
That's probably what destroyed my tape recorder. Is some
Oh God.
electronic anomaly or some some.
It might have been.
It was
a
probably
flicker.
an eclipse-related sun flare.
A sun flare. I was going to say a sun flare. Oh, see, that's a Harley. That's a Harley. I can tell a Harley from a long ways away.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I didn't think anyone else had that. I thought I had a birth defect or something, and I was so afraid that I would be like ostracized that I never even told my parents like that I had it.
Oh,
and we were homeschooled, so I wasn't around other kids, and I never I don't know. I never saw that other people had one. So my parents signed us up to play t-ball, and no, that's thunder.
that's not a Harley. That's
But there was a
thunder.
Harley. I mean, there was a Harley there too. I don't like that. Oh, Kristina,
We're gonna be fine.
I'm afraid.
Not here at the radio station. We couldn't.
We're holding metal electronic things in our hands. That's
I know, but
scary.
this one's already
Okay,
broken.
we have to cling together as we walk to the cars so
Okay.
that we'll be safe.
All right.
Anyway, I signed up to play. My parents signed us up to play t-ball, and it was super hot and muggy, and it was my first time being around kids, and I was so afraid that they were going to pick on me for my weird saggy elbows. That I insisted on wearing a long sleeve shirt for the entire t-ball season, and I was so hot.
Can I just say
and miserable.
something?
What?
I think you have unusual problems.
Yeah, I know.
I guess that's something to be.
It's just the things
glad
that really
about,
stressed
but-
me out as a child were just.
Oh, look, I'm getting an Airbnb request right now.
Nice.
Dang.
I have a wedding
today.
Are their names Kristen and Evan? Because
No,
those are my
Leonard.
that's my couple tomorrow.
Leonard requests to stay. Leonard.
Leonard Skinner.
No, just Leonard. I don't know. So that nice quiet evening that I was going to have home alone.
You can come to my house
Get it.
if you want.
But I suppose you shouldn't spend the eclipse alone. So maybe it's me and Leonard tonight.
Is Leonard by
Celebrating
himself?
the
I don't think I
eclipse.
want you to have like a Leonard who's by himself come to save
No,
Airbnb.
he's probably a couple. Most people come in couples.
Okay. That thunder is getting really loud, Kristina.
Okay, we got to play a song.
Here comes Todd. He's going to maybe save us.
All right, it's time for a track of music, and this one is called
shut the window while this happens.
Aberdiggery Swamp Dream from our friend Davy Davis. Whoops.
I almost need to listen to this.
Wait, no.
With a title like that.
I went to the wrong one. Wait. Here we go. Starts with a little didgeridoo.
thundery. We've never done this show in a thunderstorm, Kristina.
You know, that's true.
And you said the eclipse is about letting go. Maybe we're like going to let go of our life right now.
Well,
I don't want to. I'm really busy today.
Right.
I have to go and pull off a wedding in like a few minutes, so I gotta not be hit by lightning at the moment.
I can distract you with
and
something.
I have poison ivy. I don't want to die with poison ivy.
I'll tell you a fascinating fact about outhouses.
Pussy in my casket.
No, listen. Here's a fascinating, fun fact about outhouses. Okay, is back when they were switching over.
Oh my god!
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Yeah, you should see me in airplanes. This is not.
No,
these are my phobias: snakes, airplanes, thunder. And the talking on the telephone are the worst ones.
Okay. So I recently read that when outdoor toilets were first being introduced, that a lot of people thought it was disgusting to have, as they would call it, the crapper in the house. They thought it was disgusting.
Yeah, I know, because it was unsanitary.
Yeah.
So when the first water closets came in, a lot of the best families didn't want them because...
Yeah. But we've come a long way.
That's really a lot of thunder.
Thunder's beautiful. Feel the power behind that.
I just read, what book did I read? Oh, God. What is it? It's about a lightning strike victim, and I just read it 2 days ago. Ah, Jesus, that is so bright.
You know, it's funny, because I'm not even seeing what you're seeing. But
I feel really bad for Abe. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Todd's dog is in the other room, and he's really sad, too. And I just want to lay on the floor with him under the table until this goes away.
I just want to note for the record that Emily took her headphones off and will not put them back on while the thunderstorm is going on.
No.
Whereas I'm completely wired up to the console. So anything that happens is going to happen to me.
You don't have to pull off a wedding later today.
Yeah, I know.
You could have a couple days in the hospital.
Yeah, I have to go up to the thrift store. I'm going up to Recycle to, what's it called? The Restore to take all that stuff, all the National Geographics and everything are going up there.
I'll keep John away from the Restore for the next few days so he doesn't just rebuy them back again.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's really bad.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to carefully extract my list from underneath my cell phone.
Yeah.
I got attacked by some ducks this week, too. We went to Lake Sunapee to go swimming one day, and I didn't look at any of the signs as we went onto the beach. So apparently we did like every illegal thing. The sign said no eating, no glass bottles, no feeding the ducks, all these things that I just didn't see the sign. We went to the beach. We had a big picnic lunch. We definitely had glass bottles. And these ducks came over and they looked at us with like puppy dog eyes, but I guess they were more like ducky dog eyes. But they looked so cute that I gave one a Dorito and they like loved it. And they kind of just kept hanging around us. And after a while, the kids went in swimming and I just like stretched out in the sun. And then they I didn't see them. I was looking the other way and John started taking pictures. I could hear the camera click and I was like, don't take pictures of me. And he's laughing and the ducks are coming and they're like trying to jump on me and peck all around in my hair and stuff because they thought maybe that's where I store the Doritos. I don't know, but they were very enamored with the Doritos.
It was probably a big week for birds because I was making that costume.
Your feather cape.
Yeah.
Do you have it yet? Is it in your possession?
No. Nikki's still working on it.
Wow. So, I can't believe it's happening. That's so awesome.
Yeah. We started with this synthetic mesh, and we took the feathers, each feather.
Like that road fabric? Or that, that like landscaping fabric?
No, it's not stiff. It's very pliable and lightweight. And stick the feathers in, and then took a glue gun and just secured each feather individually to the mesh and layered them so it just looks like feathers. It's the coolest thing.
Super pretty. I saw a picture on Instagram
yeah,
or Facebook or something.
she knows how to make costumes and she put all this work into it, so I took her out to dinner.
Nice.
And we went down to Sarducci's and we're sitting outside waiting for a table. And we looked over, and the water is so low in Montpelier in the river that there were turkeys in the river on the sandbar, which is so crazy.
Weird.
It's very weird. And what's weird about it is my album, that cover, which this cape is for a photo shoot related to the album,
it's made of
turkey feathers, and it's called River of Light. And so we go to Montpelier, and we see the turkeys in the river. See, that's
crazy
just like it's the ascension. It's the disclosure. You know the disclosure.
Okay. Yeah. No. Sorry, I'm just eyeing the sky right now.
I know. Well, this is related. This is all related. The disclosure is like many people think that the government is about to disclose what it knows about UFOs and that there's a lot that we don't know about what they know.
It's going to disclose that its president is a UFO. I mean, not a UFO. That's the flying object.
A UFOE.
An ET.
Could be. it wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you, honestly?
Not really.
It would actually, I would feel so relieved to know that person was not
part
a
of the
human being.
race. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Well, not super relieved, though, because you keep thinking that, like, there's aliens out there and they're probably really nice, and this would destroy those dreams
I didn't
of
say,
yours.
I never said that.
Holy God,
I never
make
said,
the thunder stop.
I never said that they were so nice.
That's my ringtone. Why
No,
do you
it's
have my ringtone?
Doug Perkins is calling me. He doesn't know that I do a radio show on Friday mornings.
Clearly, neither does my sister, because she keeps texting me.
Boy, so many things happen to us.
Why is it so bright?
Okay, I have to just think of ways to distract you until...
You can't. Oh my God. I think we need to leave this room. Can you play a really long song?
Well, let's see. Let me look and see what the last
here.
song that I had here...
I need to go under the table with Abe.
I have a song queued up called The Early Morning Blues by Goldtown. And,
we're like the highest thing around. We're up here in the stinking treehouse.
I'll tell you what.
Surrounded by
if you'd
freaking
stop
windows.
talking, I will put the song on, and we will say farewell to our friends, our wonderful friends out.
Thank you, sponsors and underwriters.
Yes, you've been listening to 11th Hour Radio.
Which we didn't introduce before.
And we have had a great time. And we're so glad.
96.5 WSBR LP, South Royalton, Vermont.
So have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Got them hooked on the blues, and I ain't going to town. Got them hooked on the blues, I ain't going to town. It's my way, she's always coming down. And I got airplanes still flying right over my head. I got fighter jets and airplanes screaming all over my bed. And it sounds like the first time I heard back in the USSR. Well, now ain't never going to hometown. No, just a place where I learned